Coming Crash It Cap. It's a Friday feel-good edition. Grab a microphone, sit down. It's a feel-good edition of the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff. Ryan McGuffey here in the REKAP studios. Folks, if I had a disco ball and a DJ right now, we'd be partying here. We got the booze. It's time to go. It's Friday. Everyone's excited. Not everyone. White Sox fans. I don't give a damn. I'm a Sox fan. Here's the thing. We haven't had a playoff team in this town in 5 flipping years. I don't even count 2020 for the Cubs anymore. I don't. None of us saw it. We watched it, found it on TV while we were all cooped up at home for a 60-game season. The Cubs beat the Brewers 6-0 last night. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. October 21st, make your plans to be with us. We will be in Orland Park a week from Tuesday. Cap will be there, Alex Brown, Tom Waddle, myself, Katie, the whole crew, and we will be ready to go for October 21st, Studio 41, Football Rekap Live. The Chicago Cubs got it done. Got it done. And you know what? I have a message for all of you, and for those of you who've been watching us every night after the games, thank you. We're going to keep doing it. Tomorrow night, Cap Gordon and I will be live as soon as the game goes final. On this specific show, there has been a slew and ton of bitching about Ian Happ and Kyle Tucker. And why is Matthew Boyd getting the ball? And Matt Shaw should be sitting for Willie flipping Castro. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you those 4 guys as the key cogs in last night's win. 5 RBIs between the 3 of the hitters, and Matthew Boyd shoved into the 5th inning. So you know what? We have all been hard on Craig Counsell, and for quite frankly, much of it's deserved. But it's why you ride your horses. Ian Happ did slide a few pegs down in the lineup, and he got a cookie middle fastball that on a hot day at Wrigley Field is hitting off of one of the buildings across the street, without question. On a cold night at Wrigley Field, that thing was 8, 9, 10 rows up, and the Chicago Cubs went from there. The real Phil Simms chimes in with Boyd was larger than life and did it that way on to Milwaukee for Game 5. That's why Boyd... Everybody, like Colin Ray. Colin Ray should start tomorrow. We won't know by the time this show's over who's starting tomorrow. I'll get into tomorrow in a second. But Matthew Boyd on regular rest at Wrigley Field. He was 12-1 with a 2.51. It was the easiest decision of the night for the Cubs. Easiest decision of the night. Told you Peralta is definitely beatable, not on the level of other elite pitchers. And yes, rest in peace to Sister Jean. She passed away shortly after the Cubs game last night. What a life, man. A life well lived to the great Sister Jean. 106 years. What a full, happy life. But I know there's a lot of people at Loyola today and reeling. And all of us here at the REKAP certainly send our condolences to the entire Loyola family. Great slate of games this weekend. Who you got? OU, Texas, Auburn, Georgia, IU, Oregon, Bama, Missouri. All right, I'm going to go Bama. I'm going to work backwards here. Bama over Missouri. I think Texas is Arch Manning. Not impressed. Not impressed. I know Mateer's not in for OU. That's a kind of I say Texas in a tight one. Auburn, Georgia. I'm going Georgia. I really want IU. I don't understand how that line is only 7.5. The game's in Oregon. Oregon, I think, gets it done. This would be, you want to talk about a statement game for Indiana. They beat Oregon, and in Oregon, it pretty much all but assures them a playoff berth. I mean, that's how good Oregon is, and that's how good IU is as well. Eric, that's the Matthew Boyd we are accustomed to seeing him pitch. He was outstanding last night. Offense did its job. Now all hands on deck on Saturday night for Game 5. What do you think happens tomorrow night in Milwaukee? Here's what I'll say about Milwaukee. Tomorrow, the Cubs have 3 pitchers, and we said this last night on the podcast. They have Colin Ray, they have Shota Imanaga, and they have Aaron Savali, all which pitched on Monday, all on regular rest, all who are starters. All of those guys started games in 2025. The Milwaukee Brewers, they don't have that. They don't have that. I would start Colin Ray tomorrow. I don't think in a winner go home situation that Shota Imanaga has shown you the ability to take the mound, at least starting the baseball game tomorrow. I do think Shota Imanaga out of the bullpen can be effective for 2 innings or so. And look, let's be honest. If it's Colin Ray it's going to be a short leash if he gets in trouble because you have guys behind him. Whether it's Savale, whether it's Shota. If you can get, we were talking about this last night, if you can get 6 innings from those 3 guys and you're tied or you have the lead, you want to talk about setting up well. Then you got to worry about 7, 8, and 9 and possibly extra innings, obviously. But yeah, Illinois, Ohio State, I don't know how that was left out of that slate of games. I think it really, really bodes well. I think Milwaukee's feeling a little tight. Cap, you've been feeling a little of that warm pressure coming down from Milwaukee today? A lot of tightness coming up north of 294. Right around Kenosha, it jams up a little bit. Just you have to roll the window down.
Guess what? We'll be there to compete tomorrow night.
A lot of pressure. Phil says you called it when it came to Hap. People should realize he's a multi-time All-Star Gold Glove winner and may win another one this year. Back off. Look, I'm okay with you guys riding people. It's fine. But to say that, some of the asinine comments about Willie Castro over Matt Shaw and all this other shit. No.
How'd that work out for you?
Oh, hey, Cap.
Godfather.
We have multiple microphones. Why don't you take over and I'll go get a microphone?
Okay.
Take over there.
How's everybody doing? I need a little Starbucks. I'm tired from last night. That's right. Guess what? Still alive.
There he is.
Still alive, baby. That's right. And now we go in tomorrow night and see if we can find a way to win a baseball game. That's it. Just find a way.
Who are you starting, Cap?
I'm starting Colin Ray. I wouldn't let Shota Imanaga anywhere near the mound except to throw if it's a double-digit game. That's it.
Wow, so you're basically saying he's out.
For this game. This is it. No more Shota for this game. I'm going to make a prediction.
Everybody.
There is a better than 50% chance that he's thrown his last pitch as a Cub.
Wow. I'm going to jump. Sorry for all the comments that are way up there. With Cap on the show, I know there's a lot of people who are jacked up. So let's get – hi, everybody.
Hi.
You like my mic situation?
I do. I think there's a very realistic possibility that he has thrown his last pitch as a Cub because he's going to want them to extend his deal or he's going to opt out. And guess what? I don't think they'll do that.
Our guy Rick, who's in Honolulu and joins the show every day.
Oh, Rick. I love Hawaii.
Rick joined, I call it the Recap Breakfast Hour with Rick.
That's the best. It's 5 hours earlier there.
Northern sphincters are a twist as he has his coffee. He's feeling the pressure from the Great North. Look at everybody who's jacked up to see a Cap on the Recap Lunch Hour today. Look at this. Welcome into the Recap. Look at the Cap. Everyone's so excited. It's a feel-good Friday, Cap.
It's a feel-good Friday. And I'm excited for the opportunity tomorrow. Not going to get any trash talk out of me.
There's no trash talk worth. Why would there be trash talk?
Well, I'm reading the comments over on my computer over there. The Brewer fans are basically throwing in the towel. When we lose tomorrow, this will be the biggest gut punch in Wisconsin sports history. And They were listing.
It'll be another gut punch in Wisconsin sports history.
The Packers losing the Super Bowl when they tried to go back to back was one. This one would be in there.
When you lose the back to back, if you won one, it's not as bad of a gut punch.
I don't disagree.
Ask the Buffalo Bills about that.
They missed some shot in the NBA playoffs to get to the finals. That one bothered them, a 6-footer.
No way that's true, TR. I'm looking at it right now. Sorry to interrupt you, Cap.
Jeff Passan reports Imanaga starting tomorrow.
That's terrible.
That's horrible.
I'm looking. You better not be getting punked by the fake Jeff Passan. I don't see Jeff Passan reporting that. I'm not sure where that came from, so make sure you follow up with us.
Yeah, let me have that for a second. It's your show, kid.
Here we go. Colin Ray tomorrow night. We all think so. Still alive. David Millar. I like the David Millar. That's been a big fan of yours. Cap for yesterday, says MJ.
What did I do yesterday?
I don't know. Where's Colin Ray? He's been hiding in the series. I'd get ready to go. Bring it on, Cap. Godfather's ready. I'm not the fair weather fan. You are. Wow. Godfather has something.
He said, I'm a fair weather fan.
You read the comment, my friend.
Godfather, CHGO. Bring it on, Cav. I'm not the fair weather fan. You are. That is one of the weakest comments you've ever posted. You have some lunatic takes, but that one's horrible.
I'm not wearing a UNC hoodie. Mine. I refuse to get Chapel Bill on my hoodie. I'm just going with the solid, whatever you want to call it, baby blue, cubby blue Showed him and dude, that news is not out there. If it was passing, everyone would have it by now. So I don't know where that was coming. Imanaga starting tomorrow, confirmed, says TR again. No one, like, that is not found anywhere. I wonder if TR is a Brewers fan. Erica, I was on ESPN Milwaukee this morning. They're falling apart, says Erica from ESPN Milwaukee. Guff, Billy Holiday called and he wants his microphone back. Hey, you know what, Jay True? Have a drink on me, my friend. Clyde, we are not ignoring you. All right, we got enough.
I don't see it. Grok says that Justin Steele might be in play.
Kyle wants to know how many hours you slept.
2.5.
Eric wants to know, wake up. Oh, no. Eric says, wake up Saturday morning, grab a cup of coffee, and find a way to win a damn baseball game. I talked to some people, some great people in my life north of the border this morning, right before I came on the show. Milwaukee residents.
Wow.
I asked if the sphincter, we've been talking about sphinctering up on the post-game show for like the last 3 days. She said the air pressure is rather suffocating up there. Sources confirm that people are on edge in Milwaukee.
I have been reading on my computer over there on social media, and it's amazing to see the Brewers fans melting down. It's 2-2. And according to analytics, when you were up 2-0, the Brewers were 90% to win the series. It's down to 57 because they've got the home field advantage tomorrow night.
Yeah, so the 17 times that we've seen this, the team that came back down 0-2 is 10-7.
The team that came back, correct, and forced Game 5 is 10-7.
Yeah. So here's what if you're a Brewers, and look, Cub fans are feeling a lot more puffy chested today than they were 4 days ago when we were sitting here. Sean, I'll get to your comment here in a second. This is why the Milwaukee Brewers earned the right to have a home game tomorrow. You won 97 games. You're the best. You're the best in baseball, and you earned the right to take it back to Milwaukee tomorrow. They are a different team there. My guess is the roof will be closed. The ball will be flying out. And Jacob Mizorowski will pitch where he's much better at home. He better be ready, though. I'm telling you. And you know who else better be ready? I'm putting William Contreras' ass on alert. Because if somebody hits a first-inning homer for the Cubs, which at this point I'm just getting used to, stare that shit down and slowly flip the bat as high as you can and let that guy get up and say something. Because you don't need to fire up the opposing team right now. And if William Contreras gets that fired up about – he did it the other day when he walked. He did the same thing Kyle Tucker did. And I'm like, this guy.
Yeah, he's something else, man.
Sean, should you put the mortgage on Cubs Game 5? My take would be no. Don't.
Why would you put the mortgage on anything?
Yeah.
Other than a running race, me against Guff, and you're betting all the mortgage on Guff? That's the only sure bet I know.
Yeah. And here's the old rule. It's two guys who scratch the itch literally every day and dabble.
Yes.
Betting with your head and your heart is a really, really dangerous, slippery slope. And when you're talking about putting the mortgage where your heart is and not your head, it really can get – yeah, TR Vitz, he got punked. It's not Shota Imanaga. You were looking at the wrong Jeff Passan. You had us on alert there. It would have flipped the whole show into tilt, to be honest with you.
Oh, God.
If Colin Ray doesn't pitch for the Cubs tomorrow, I'm not watching. Clyde,
you know what, Clyde? You're better than that.
Someone needs to be fired if that's true. Okay, everybody calm down. Shota Imanaga is not starting.
Yet.
Not starting yet. Let's talk about this real quick because Cap and I have covered a ton of Cubs games. Cap certainly a lot more than I have, but I was at those. I go back to my first recollection of like a stadium being different, Cap. And to this day, it's in my Mount Rushmore, and it might still be there. When Kerry Wood hit the homer in Game 7 in 03.
Oh, God. Were you there?
I was at the game
with
my brother.
I was broadcasting.
I was sitting in is that the 400, like the upper deck? Where you're kind of perched over?
Correct.
It's a really good seat.
The lower level of the upper deck. Yeah.
I was sitting there. And this is, mind you, after the Bartman game. So I had the 30,000-foot view because I'm like, this is ridiculous. They're blaming this kid. It doesn't mean anything. They still have Game 7 to carry with. When Wood hit the home run, I was sitting down because I was so, go Sox. My brother's a diehard Cub fan. And I swear to God, the concrete, we were doing this in the upper deck.
It was shaking.
And I remember, and that's when you can't even do it like that because in 16, they didn't allow the fans to, there were as many fans around the stadium on
16 they banned some of that. Yeah.
Then there were in it. And when that ball went out and you could see the fans on Waveland and the whole stadium was shaking. I remember I have goosebumps talking about it because it gave me that goosebump feeling like I can't believe that I'm actually witnessing an event like this. I looked at my brother right in the eyes and said, you guys are winning the World Series. Of course, shortly after that, it all fizzled out. But going back to last night, 16 was special. I mean, I was at all of those games. As you know, you did all the pre and post. I covered that team from spring training all the way through the final out. The crowd was electric.
It was insane.
I always go back to game 6 of the NLCS, and I was running through center field, interviewing guys, and the energy was palpable. Last night, Freddie, I had not seen a Cubs crowd like that and I would put 16 up there. I don't remember 16 chanting the pitcher's name every single pitch in the first inning.
How about standing for 9 innings, basically? It was insanity. And when you hear Pat Murphy say those 2 wins, the crowd absolutely played a role. You hear Craig Counsell say it might be the best crowd experience I've ever seen.
That's something.
Nico Horner,
well, but specifically Murphy and Counsell. Counsell's like these guys were born and raised in the game.
Counsell won the World Series, scored the winning run. He said this was insanity. My wife was in the bleachers with her sister, and they both said, maybe the night the Cubs won the pennant for the first time in 71 years. But maybe. But other than that, Mindy said last night might be the best ever.
So I think the game 6 pennant night was so emotional for people that it was hard for people to really be so invested in every pitch because there was so much tension about if they do this, it's going to be unlike it. We don't know how to react.
Right. It's been 71 years since they've gone, 108 since they've won.
So I felt that the crowd was like that night. The crowd was like, we don't know what's next because we've never felt this before, and we don't have a history of it either. My parents didn't have it. My grandparents didn't have it. So there's so much like emotional tension. Last night, it was like, fuck, if we lose, we're going home. So let's just ride this thing out.
Right.
And so it was like, whatever happens. And it was awesome. Randall, I actually thought about this. Some of our best thinking comes in the shower, not together, but that would be something too. Thinking ahead if the Cubs win tomorrow night.
That little shower over there is very small.
Yes, it is. We'll have a triple header. Don't drop the soap. Monday night, Cubs, Bears, and Hawks. Look, the Blackhawks are off and running. I just thought about Cubs and Bears. If the Cubs are playing game 1 of the NLCS on Monday night and the Bears are playing the Commanders on Monday night, it takes me back
That's amazing.
It takes me back to like 2005 where like the Bears played the Ravens at 3, and then at 6 the White Sox were playing the Astros in the World Series, and then I go back to 16 and you think about the Cubs and the Bears. That's as good as it gets. And with watching that game last night, it was, man, I forgot how much I missed this. And take allegiances out of it, because Cap would be the same way if the White Sox were playing and the place was up for grabs like it was in 21, the blackout game, which Cap was covered and was at. Like, we deserve it. Like, to not have that for so long and to see it back again has just been so awesome.
Like if I'm going to ask this question. If you're Tom Ricketts, and again, everyone goes, boy, the Cubs are cheap. The Cubs spent $227 million. The Brewers are, I think, 110, 112. So they spend money. But if you're Tom Ricketts and you're sitting there in your seats right down in the first row, and you look around and you're like, okay, we got a good young team. The majority of this team's coming back, whether they bring back Kyle Tucker or they put that money into pitching. How can you look around and not want that feeling every year?
There'd be no way I could do it. There'd be no way.
I would get my sister and 2 brothers together. I don't have a sister or 2 brothers. I have 1, but I'm talking about the Ricketts. And I'd be like, okay, Jed has built us a really good core. We've got a good manager. And guess what? I want to push some more chips in. I want to go for it right from the get-go.
Yep, same.
I want to feel that.
No more at the deadline. There'd be no more sitting on my hands when you can go out and be a difference maker. There's been some speculation about this, Cap. This question from the real Phil Sims about maybe Tucker has played his way into a shorter-term deal. I was having a conversation on the field 2 days ago about this exact topic, about how he may sign a Cody Bellinger type contract with an opt-out after each year.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly for 2 reasons. Obviously, there's some concerns about health, but there's a lot of teams, even the ones that are willing to go the crazy contracts, that 27 is such a concern for everybody
Mm-hmm.
that Kyle Tucker can still play his way into a big deal by doing the opt-out every year, albeit it won't be like Cody Bellinger because it'll be more like 40 or 50 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So if that were the case, would you do a 4 for 200 for Kyle Tucker with an opt-out after each year?
I wouldn't give him $50 million a year. I would not.
Okay.
Absolutely no shot.
Okay.
Now, if he said, let's do, give me an example here. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signed his contract. Now they spread it over 14 years, I believe, maybe 15. And his average annual salary is $35.7 million. And people are like, he only makes $35 million because they want to keep their luxury tax payments down. So they just add more years on the back end. And he's like, I just want $500 million. You want to spread it over 200 years? I don't care. I want that money. If it was me and I was running the Cubs, I would offer him 3 years, opt-outs after years 1 and 2, 40 a year, 120.
Okay.
But going 5 and 6 and 7 years for a guy who missed 3 months in 2024 with a broken leg. I know it's an acute injury, not a chronic one. And then missed a lot of time this year and had a big gap where something wasn't right. I have a little bit of a concern. I'm not giving you one of these 10 for 375 or something like that. You want to go 3 years, 40 million a year? I probably would do that.
Lip, if the Cubs are playing on Monday night, you can bet your ass we'll put a Chicago parlay together. Good. Remind me on Monday if the Cubs are still playing. It looks like a lot of you guys. This is true, Michelle. I have seen this. The Brewer fans are dumping their tickets. I have seen that, which tells me everything I need to know. Ryan, great name, was at the game last night, traveling to Milwaukee tomorrow. Should be fun. Pat Murphy had mentioned after game 1 that it felt very 90-10 Milwaukee. And I said this last night on the postgame show. Do whatever it takes. Cub fans, if you're even thinking about getting in the car, pack it up tonight. Get your ass up there. Every door's open. Bust it down and get in that game. Because if there's any resemblance of Wrigley Field north of the border tomorrow, game over. Like ball game over. Because all of that pressure, I still think there's pressure on the Cubs to win tomorrow night, but it's, predominantly laying at the feet of the Milwaukee Brewers. Howard Ankin has the Cubs winning tomorrow night, of course. The great Howard Ankin.
Yeah, we need to call Howard and get a prediction from him and put that in the question of the day. That will be obviously the question of the day today, the Ankin Law question of the day, 312-6 million. For the best personal injury attorney in Illinois, the award-winning Howard Ankin, AnkinLaw.com.
Jay True gives the best lead-ins to a promo I've ever seen. He's very good with the Hooters ones. Calm down. I'll grab a Big Daddy mug at your 11 area local Hooters or Clyde's Northwest Indiana Hooters. Speaking of which, Cap, you know it very well because we were just at Downers Grove on Tuesday. We're going to be in Orland Park a week from this coming Tuesday.
Correct.
Make your plans to be with us October 21st. Order.hooters.com. Cap likes doing it. I got convinced. I finally have convinced Cap that order.hooters.com is the way to go.
And you know what I get? I get the naked boneless wings with multiple sauces. Delicious.
I said they're in the boring section of the menu. Normally naked and boring don't go together.
You couldn't handle the heat of the sauces I get.
They got rid of mango habanero because people couldn't handle the heat. It's the one thing I'm disappointed in.
What about 3 Mile Island? It's still there.
I could dance.
You couldn't handle it.
Let's do it. October 21st, which, by the way, will be the 1-year anniversary of this fine program. October 21st at Hooters.
Oh, I love that.
Orland Park will be the 1-year anniversary. We're very proud to partner with Hooters. OriginalHooters.com, one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Like I said, order.hooters.com. Look at Lou. Dragging at work today after last night. How is Cap
Lou Melgarejo?
Yeah.
Lou is one of the fine humans I have ever met. A phenomenal father. He's a great husband. He's an outstanding director, probably the second best director I ever worked with at NBC Sports Chicago.
Oh, the elbows are always flying here on the show. Nate, Lou, good to be with you, buddy.
Would you put Eric Peterson ahead of him too?
Jim Reed.
Terry Cortez.
The great Terry Cortez.
Lou, you're down to 4th.
We didn't even name Matt Ellis yet.
Oh, wow. You're 5th. And when Maurice Wallace fills in, you're probably 6th. And who's that guy, Dave, that was the director?
We need someone to change their profile name to who's that guy, Dave. Especially with Cap, there's like so many different meetings with that. So if you could have a who's that guy, Dave?
Wasn't there a guy named Dave? He used to work on the crew, and he became a director.
Well, there were multiple people who used to be on the crew that thought being director was a good thing, and the pay was good, but the talent, Nate, Wrigley playoff memories. We were in center field for Montero's game 1. You mentioned this one all the time about
that when Joe Blanton hung a slider and Montero missed it. And you could see, oh boy, that ball was right here. He threw him the same pitch and hung again, and he hit it about where Ian Happ's 3-run shot was yesterday, maybe a little deeper.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
The Freddie chants were really awesome, as you mentioned, Erica. Jess says, Guff, side note, calling it out. Eagles are preparing to land. The team looks shaky. Not sure if it's the players or coaching or both, but man, losses to 2 mad teams. I smell a crash coming. Here's what I'm going to say about this. That's why Monday night, and we haven't talked Bears at all because that's what happens when you have a playoff
team.
You
win, all of a sudden you go, wow, the NFC might be open here.
I mean, and I'm just looking at your own schedule. You have the Saints at Baltimore. Lamar obviously will probably play that game.
At Cincinnati. And the
Joe
Giants
Flacco.
here.
The Giants here are interesting. Okay. They got some momentum. Jackson Dart and Scatterboot, like that is a fun tandem. It's changed the entire complexion of the New York football.
Yeah, it might save Joe Shane and Brian Dable's jobs.
It probably should. And then you do play the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia on Black Friday. So we've seen this Eagles situation with Sirianni. Remember, they bottomed out and almost talked about firing him, finishing 1-6. Then they win the Super Bowl last year, and now they kind of feel like they're disconnected a little bit.
You know what? One pitch, one batter, one pitch, one out at a time for baseball, and one play at a time for football. Let's not worry about the upcoming.
Right.
Just let's win Monday.
Which is now, right now, we got Saturday to worry about. I love this idea, Kyle. Jacob.
That'd be amazing.
Because I talked to some people in the press box on Tuesday when we were there. Is it Tuesday? No, Wednesday. On Wednesday when I was there, I talked to some people from Milwaukee, and they said if Pat could help it, he won't pitch Jacob at Wrigley Field. And I was like, really? The dude? He goes, yeah, but he's really emotional. And I was like, could you imagine if you get 60% of those fans going Jacob, enough to rattle him? There won't be that run into first base like after the second inning doing that.
It's so funny to hear guys that all have this issue and father and son matching hoodies, except mine has the great logo on it.
This is as close as you'll get to me wearing the logo.
That's it. What was I just going to tell you? Oh, Michael Jordan one day, I'm playing golf with him. And I asked him walking up the fairway, I said, what was your favorite place to play? Obviously, United Center, right? He said, look, I loved playing at home. It was super cool. But, quote, there was nothing better than going on the road and sticking it to 20,000 people. Yeah. He said, I loved it. He goes, not everybody's built that way. He loved walking in and going, you're going to lose tonight, and then beating their ass.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like that's kind of how I'm built. Give me like I'll play villain all day long.
I love playing villain
because you know what happens with the villain? He could play the hero too.
You know me.
Yeah,
I get off on that.
Yeah, so easy. You're sitting right next to me for God's sakes.
That's it.
Chris, I was in Sports Corner at Wrigleyville when we were all losing our minds after the 4th inning. Hooters does sound really good right now. As we're gonna put a bow on this thing here pretty soon. Why would they dump tickets? Well,
because they're afraid of what happens if we lose.
They
have a weak constitution, as my wife would say.
Brewers going to do what Brewers do and get bounced like always. Becky, we'll worry about 2027 and 2027. Right now, we got Cap a little off topic, but where would the 2004 Cubs have finished if they signed Pudge?
Same spot because they were a group of assholes. It's one of the most unlikable teams I've ever covered.
Is Bush the Cubs MVP this year?
Michael Bush, Cubs MVP. Probably have to say yes.
I think Nico's in the conversation.
Nico's there. PCA had a hell of a year.
You could argue Matthew Boyd.
Matthew Boyd had a hell of a year, man.
I mean, start to finish. Like there are different people who took the baton and ran. Like Cade Horton in the second half was a la Jake Arrieta. Bush in the second half. was the only guy carrying the entire offense other than Nico getting on base consistently. But there was a lot of like a month here, 2 months here, 3 months here. But consistency wise, I think Bush and Horner were as good as it gets.
Yeah, I'd probably give it to Bush. 34 home runs is pretty freaking impressive, but Nico Horner's a beast.
Look at Michelle.
He could get it.
Sold the Notre Dame tickets and bought. I like that.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to Illinois Wesleyan against Wheaton because
DePaul would beat both their asses, but that's a side topic.
DePaul would lose to my son's team at Wesleyan back in the day.
Rankings? Here we go. Back in the day.
Yeah, when he played. So his team's getting honored tomorrow because they were, I think, 5th in the country when Garrett played. And so they're 2-2 Wesleyan. They're playing Wheaton. I don't know what Wheaton's record is.
Wheaton also not in the top 20. Wheaton's 19th. They're
2-2. So
look at DePaul, 12-0.
There you go. So Wheaton and Illinois Wesleyan tomorrow, his team's getting honored. So we're going down to tailgate starting at 7 a.m. We're leaving. My wife's spending the night cooking, and we're going to be with our grandkids, my son, my daughter-in-law, our friend George McDaniel and his wife and kids, because his daughter plays softball there. And then some of my son's teammates, they're all huge. And so we're going to all hang out all day. Now I want to go to Milwaukee. And I said to my wife, would it be offsides if I went to Milwaukee? And she said, 1,000%. We have been planning this for months that we're all going to tailgate together when Garrett and his team walk out on the field. She's like, you're going to leave your son to go watch the Cubs. And I'm like, no, I won't do it.
Is this an appropriate time to say thanks for the invite? Or that's
I believe I did invite you on the golf course. I said, we're going to be at Wesleyan tailgating.
No. That was no. That's let me give you a side note on the 12th ranked team in the country. DePaul entered with the best rushing defense in any level of NCAA play, has held opponents to an average of negative 7.2 rushing yards a game. The best in all levels of NCAA football. Steve, do you have a prediction for the game tomorrow?
I do think the Cubs win. I think they end up winning the game. Something like 4-3, something like that. I think it's going to be tight right down to the end. I do have the Cubs winning it.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell else am I going to say? I'm not going to pick the Brewers at this point. I actually feel like it's not going to be.
Hi, Mark.
I actually feel like it's not going to be as tight. Yes, Breck, big game tomorrow for the Tiger of DePaul. I think 6-2. It's going to be like at some point, it's going to be tight, and then there's going to be a pull away moment, and they're going to start panning the crowd and trying a lot of this, and a lot of this, and a lot of like Robin Yount jerseys and win one for Uke and all that shit. And it's, sorry, I'm not sorry.
I hope the Cubs win, man. It would be amazing.
Something we do here every day on this fine program is the bet of the day.
It's called the bet of the day.
Cap likes to dabble with this one.
Yeah, this guy's awesome at it.
So PCA did not come through yesterday. He was about the one guy who did not have 2+ hits, runs, or RBIs yesterday. That's okay. Willing to take I wish I would have had Cam Scatterby to score 3+ touchdowns, because it probably would have been about 18 or 19-1, maybe even higher. Kerry Carpenter. I read this stat to Cap before we came on the air and asked if he had ever heard of such a thing. He's 5 for 11. Now, albeit with the Tigers and Mariners tonight, short leashes galore. Tarek Skubal's leash is probably longer than any Game 5 starter you could possibly imagine.
In history.
George Kirby going for the Seattle Mariner.
He's pretty good, too.
He is pretty good. But there's no tomorrow in Seattle. There's no tomorrow. I've never seen this stat before. Kerry Carpenter is 5 for 11 off of George Kirby. Cap, would you like to tell these fine people what the hits are? 5 for 11.
Yeah, with 5 home runs.
With 5 home runs.
It's
I've
insane.
Never seen that. 5 home runs and 9 RBI off of George Kirby. So we are playing. You're giving me plus money on the opportunity that Kerry Carpenter connects in the first inning on a solo shot to cash this at plus 115. Sorry. I have to play the trend because I've never seen a stat like that of 5 hits, all home runs from a guy named Kerry Carpenter. Yes. Trevista, any news on starting pitching for tomorrow for both teams? No. I think this one's going to be played close to the vest. As long, like whatever the deadline is, if it's 11:59 Eastern, both teams will probably put their picks in at 11:58, 59. As they should.
Uncle Ted, Moises Ballesteros will be the hero. He's not starting.
We're still doing this.
He might be a pinch hitter. He's not starting. Uncle Ted, who are you taking out of the lineup to play a guy who hasn't had an at-bat in the series?
Nobody. No, unless there's an injury, I do not see this coming. Lip Ripper is a solid Sox fan. He's got a Brewers walk. That would be devastating. That would be nothing's as devastating as how the Phillies lost last night. And that kid, how he's handling it. It's I mean, if you want to show kids about class and humility in sports, show them that press conference afterwards. It's incredible. I mean, he is as honest as it gets, fighting back tears the whole time. I was really hoping the Phillies would force a game 5. Use y'all's hype points on this video. Those purple crowns. Oh, thank you, Uncle Ted. We appreciate you guys. Does PCA heat up tomorrow? He's been heating up slowly. I think we're in good shape. Kyle, Cubs score early, often. Let's effing go. There's the bet of the day. Kerry Carpenter in a winner go home on Friday night, and we have a winner go home on Saturday night. Baseball is in the
it doesn't get much better. Can you imagine if they do get that done with Saturday night, the rest of the night will be like, oh my God.
Couple of big games. I know a lot of you think the Illini have a shot at Ohio State.
The Illini will not cover the 14.
I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Hold the receipts. I don't think it's going to.
Do you want Cap's bet of the weekend?
Sure. Nice little bonus bet.
Yeah. Lay the 7.5 with Oregon. They're going to thump Indiana.
Yeah, I don't get that number. I don't. The only thing I can think of, Oregon has a very young team. They're very well coached, obviously. Maybe the top 3 best coached team in the country. They did have a bye. So did Indiana. 7.5. I don't get it. And it's an early game out. It's a 2:30 game, I believe, here. So it's a 12:30 game Pacific. 7.5. I when I first saw it, Cap, I honestly thought like 13.5, and I would have been like, I still probably would have laid that. So I may ladder Oregon tomorrow, even though I want Indiana to win the game. And Lip Ripper always coming in with a Friday night bet. He's a big Mountain West guy. UNLV, what Dan Mullen's doing out there.
Is he any good?
Lip. Come on, man. He's my brother from another mother.
There you go. All right.
Him,
I'll play UNLV because of you, Lip.
All right, guys. An extended version, Cap.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
By the way, you know what? You know what the rest of the time here in the office will be spent doing? I will record handicapping with a K with Guff. We'll give our 4 best plays, 2 each. And then I'll record the recap rush hour. And then right over there, we have a basket, like a hoop. Guff is in the hole right now. He's down $70 to me. We pay off at 100. I'm planning on cashing in today.
I'm not going to lie. I've been in quite a slump. I had a pretty sizable lead, and, I've kind of gone PCA in the second half. But one big hit, bud. That's
I was thinking more you were Andrew Vaughn with the White Sox.
No, I don't know who that guy is. I blacked him out.
Yeah. That guy looks like a star.
Appreciate you guys greatly. I had check out the White Sox recap podcast. We do our season predictions. We go back and look, and Andrew Vaughn's a big topic of conversation. It's actually a lot of fun. There's also a new Bulls.
One other thing, they've got a new thing on the menu. I always get a flat white with 1 stevia and cinnamon powder in the afternoon at Starbucks when I get them, or Guff picks it up for us. They now have protein milk. Guess what? Add the protein, get a little extra protein. It'll make it that much easier to get that ball to the rim when I cash in on Guff.
It just costs an extra $6 for that marketing shot.
It's $1.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Cubs on Saturday. Who would have thought that on Monday night we'd be sitting here saying the Cubs have a shot to take this thing into next week and into the NLCS. We appreciate Hooters, our fine partner of the recap and the recap lunch hour. Order.hooters.com. Have it delivered straight to your office, straight to your home. Certainly for tomorrow's Cubs game. OriginalHooters.com. It's the best place to watch all sports. Playoff baseball, college football, NFL football. It's one-stop shop. Great location. Great food, cold beer, iconic Hooters girls. It's a one-stop shop. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. For Cap, I'm Guff. Have a great day. Have a better weekend. Go Cubs, go. Am I dare to say that?
Take that. Let's go.